Suppose all that talk about making college affordable in America actually happened, but not in an easy student debt relief and call it a day kind of way. I'm talking about going after the real costs of colleges. Somehow, politicians managed to downsize the number of classes, stop funding to ridiculously expensive student services, and reform student loans so they aren't predatory debt traps. In this fantasy land, America's government actually values education, and because they care, they are now faced with a difficult choice. Should the majority of American universities become specialized colleges that prioritize relevant, high-paying majors, or liberal arts colleges that prioritize student growth and exploration? Welcome to the Think Tankard, everyone. In this video, I'll argue why the specialized route is the best option. So without further ado, let's get into it. So what exactly does a specialized college look like, and why is it better than the average US college today? At its simplest, a specialized college values employability above all else. Too many graduates are stuck competing for entry-level jobs because college did not prepare them for the working world. Why? For starters, students spend years taking general ed or GE courses that are nothing more than mindless theory and busy work. A specialized college will only offer GE that teaches students specific skills that translate to the workforce. Think of courses such as public speaking, foundational math and science, and rhetoric as examples. Removing the bloat from GE will also allow for more attention to the major itself. Colleges today fill your junior and senior years with review courses that turn your program into an afterthought. When students go into a STEM major, for example, do they really need 3 different Chemistry 101 courses? Instead, students will be able to dive right into their field of study and start learning about the many specializations of that field before their senior year. Now, why are things set up this way? Because specialized colleges believe that students should be as flexible and as changing as the current job market. Finding a job after college is not as simple as having a degree and filling out an application. Specialized colleges will have a plethora of internships and workforce connections to help students get real-world experience. Professors will be required to work in the workforce for at least 1 to 2 months of the year, similar to many European vocational programs. And the college will have strong connections with local company and government to ensure program relevance. In short, a specialized college gives students a relevant, specific, and skill-oriented education. Picture it like Harvard in the 1950s or Steve Jobs' vision for Apple, a place where people are empowered through a controlled, high-quality experience.
On the other hand,
when enrolled in a liberal arts college, every educational path will be different for each student. General ed will be much more robust compared to specialized colleges, and the programs themselves will emphasize exploration and self-discovery. In short, liberal arts colleges value the creation of good people over economic output. Despite this, I still believe specialized colleges are superior, and here's why. First, you can't overlook the importance of acquiring skills in college. Even if college no longer costs us an arm and a leg, I still want more than a piece of paper when I graduate. Skill acquisition is essential for higher earnings after all, especially today. Economically speaking, when things go to shit and companies are no longer hiring, college should teach us how to succeed in these conditions. One way to do this is by teaching both soft skills, personal attributes, and hard skills, job requirements, throughout the program. We can turn to American civil rights activist Booker T. Washington's Tuskegee Institute for reference. The immediate years after the Civil War are known as the Reconstruction era. African Americans in southern states were recently freed from slavery, but many were illiterate, had no property, and were separated from their families. In 1881, Booker T. Washington built the Tuskegee Institute in Tuskegee, Alabama, to help uplift African Americans out of a hopeless situation. The institute taught people the soft skills necessary to become the next generation of teachers, and gave them relevant hard skills such as agriculture cultivation and carpentry to help uplift their communities. As Booker T. Washington once said, "I have learned that it is important to carry education outside of the school building and to take it into the fields, into the homes, and into the daily life of the people surrounding the school." Specialized colleges will use this same idea by having general education build students' soft skills and foundational knowledge, while the major itself will give students the hard skills necessary to thrive in the workforce. If you ask students why they go to college, expect the top answer to be to get a higher paying job. Specialized colleges make this their highest priority by following a strategy that many vocational and STEM programs have in common: connections, relevant coursework, and company collaboration. As much as we hate to admit it, who we know matters more than what value we bring to a company. Why? Because companies hate taking chances on people, which is why connections are so important. Professors will be experienced in the industry they teach and have a network students can leverage. Career and transfer centers will be well-versed in market trends and employment opportunities. Campuses will have many clubs and open spaces to foster collaboration between students. But most importantly, smart people can be found anywhere, which is why specialized colleges invest in satellite campuses and global ecosystems. Relevant coursework means that what I learn in college will be useful when I leave, so the courses should reflect the current demands of the job market and growing industries. Think of a specialized college course schedule like relegations in professional soccer. The top classes that have student demand and translate to the workforce will stay, while the outdated classes that still teach the growth mindset in 2024 will be on the way out. Compared to the corporate world, college has always been behind the times, but closing that gap is one way to ensure students succeed. And speaking of corporations, many top programs today work alongside companies when they build their curriculum. UC Berkeley has partnered with SAP to keep its computer science courses up to date. Stanford has had multiple entrepreneurship courses hosted by venture capital firm Y Combinator. And on top of this, companies like Google and HP have many certificate programs that can help students land internships and pad their resumes. Specialized colleges love these kinds of collaboration because it keeps the college in touch with the outside world. But you can't stay in touch without knowing where the world's going. The most effective way to do this is through research. Specialized colleges by design will be able to create more innovative research compared to liberal arts colleges. First, specialized colleges won't have as much politics and infighting between departments for grant money. Second, companies' direct involvement with the college will create more funding for future research. And last, with an ecosystem that prioritizes job placement and workforce relevance, what's learned through research can mutually reinforce what's taught in the classroom. Of course, no argument is without holes, so let's give the liberal arts college side a chance to make some. The first problem with the specialized college idea is its obsession with skills being a key to success. This is simply corporate propaganda talking. University of Pennsylvania professor of management Peter Capelli debunked the idea of a skills gap back in 2015. When a company claims they aren't hiring because of the skills gap, they are saying they don't want to lose money. Like people, companies feel the impact of recessions, and when people's purchasing power goes down, they can't expand. The skills gap is nothing more than an economic indicator, not something to build an entire curriculum around. More importantly, college is more than helping students find a job. It's a place where students can figure out what kind of person they'd like to be moving forward. When you build a college around a few majors, remove courses that bureaucrats don't find useful, and start putting students on an educational pathway similar to a Ford assembly line, that sounds like a fast track to an even worse mental health crisis. Most students go into college not knowing who they want to be and have never been in an environment where they are in charge of their own education. The specialized college system would take away that agency and place students back into the same monotonous path of K-12 education because they think they know better. Now, let's hear the specialized college's response to these objections. Peter Capelli's article misses the whole point of why skills are important. When a student leaves a specialized college, most of them will have hard and soft skills, certifications, internship experience, and of course, a degree. We can't control the hiring cycle or what reasons companies will use to justify their lack of hiring. However, we can equip students with the tools necessary while leveraging our connections with companies to maximize the chance of them landing high-paying jobs. Liberal arts colleges love the idea of student agency and students being able to take control of their education, but only a select few students will ever do this. How many students choose their classes on blind recommendations from their friends or counselors? How many students will refuse to take a class that challenges themselves in a meaningful way because they're worried about their GPA? Very few students have the time, money, and mindset to think of college this way. Believing that your college can be the one that can build the next generation of critical thinkers is simply a pipe dream. Education is a mess, but with the specialized college option, colleges can start to regain their purpose of helping students find high-quality jobs without the years of useless courses. The job market is changing, and more people are realizing that the ROI of college isn't what it used to be. Specialized colleges will be on top of trends, have cutting-edge research, and gives students the skills necessary to succeed in their chosen careers. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into the liberal arts argument, so if you'd like to watch both sides before coming to a final conclusion, I'd strongly encourage it. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you next time.